examples. We're going to go through a number of examples now. The panel is going to share with us what their top 3 or so examples are of guerrilla marketing that they've seen over recent years. And Jen, we'll start with you. John, if you'll help us by running this video.
Hey, I'm Umail.
And I'm voicemail. Hello, you've reached my voicemail. At the sound of the beep, please record your message and I will return your call. Press 1 to leave a message. Press 9 to listen to your message. Or press star 82 to re-record. Press the pound key to send your message. Press 7 to hang up, or...
Hey, baby. Last night was hot. You know I want to talk to you, right? Leave me a message.
To delete, press 8. Para español, oprima la tecla número 2.
Umail. No more yada yada yada.
They're called viral videos, and they're all over the place. If you haven't gotten one sent to you, you aren't in the right loop. I get them all the time, and what they are, they can't look too professional. This looks on the professional side of what an awful lot of them look like, because it's as if people are just sharing information, and they're designed to be shared. And the most successful ones just spread like wildfire on the internet.
Jen, as I told you this morning, as a marketer, I'm trained to put myself on the other side of the message. So when the guy said, "Hey, baby, last night was hot," I was howling. I thought that would not go over well with me. So good example, lots of humor. And we're going to take you into another example here. And this is your blog.
Blogging is a good thing, but you really do have to spend a lot of time cultivating that community, because people have become part of the community, and that's what you would strive for if you were having blogs, is targeting the right audience to participate with you and giving equal thought and care to what they respond back to you as to what you say in the first.
Pay attention to the bloggers as much as you do the traditional media. So they're out there communicating messages, have a very big audience, so you want to know who your bloggers are in your space as well. And Kevin, we're going to go to some of your examples now. John, if you'll help us with the video launch.
I got a lot of fists for your mouth. I'm the T in IT. No! I'm the ultimate power here. They only listen to me. I'm gonna shut this fool up for good. I knew it. You got a pea brain, and you're a punk on top of that. Intelligence in the network is for suckers. That's for routing stuff, not data, fool. Don't.
So the thing about this that's really striking is that they've had 238,000 views of this thing, and their target buying audience is about 24,000. Okay? And in fact, there's some downside to having this humorous thing and Mr. T saying, you know, virtualization in the network is for suckers. I mean, it goes against what they're trying to communicate in terms of being a high-tech, logical, better alternative technologically to their competitors. One of the things that happened to me lately was I started to head marketing for SyncVoice and was told, okay, we've got to refocus the company now on a larger agenda, and I want you to rebrand and market a new product and create a new name in 5 weeks. Has anybody ever tried to do something like that in 5 weeks? We created brand art that helped us tell the story. It's rich, it's somewhat visionary, and it helps us visually tell the story and give you something that's definitely recognizable as the Communicado brand. If you go to the next slide, you'll see this is actually a brochure that we're going to be passing through to the channel, where they're going to be putting their own brand on it. We'll have our sub-brands streamlined, but it's going to be extremely recognizable as belonging to us because of the visuals and the brand communication that's there.
Phil, we're going to move on to yours. Shall we launch the video?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not going to show you a lot of examples. I'm going to talk about several things in the context of this video. Guerrilla marketing has gone mainstream. Guerrilla marketing used to be about, okay, how do I find ways to get to customers and motivate a market in the context of a market being dominated by channels that I can't afford to use. But the internet has removed that barrier, right? It has never, ever, ever been cheaper to take an idea and find a community for that idea in the marketplace because of Google. What's changed, what's new is the ability to project voice and video cheaply around the internet. So podcasting and YouTube type video. But that's really, that's just a conduit. It takes a little bit of cost out. So I was thinking last night, who's the best guerrilla marketer in the market today? You know who it is? It's Apple. Now you can say, well, how can Apple be a guerrilla marketing organization? How can they be the premier guerrilla marketer when they're on television, they're on the internet, they're in magazines, they're billboards everywhere? It's because they understand that even when they're being outspent, even when they want to get into the consumer electronics business and they have Sony, I don't know, what is Sony, a $120 billion corporation, and Apple wants to wedge their way in. What gets them into that market? What helps them increase Macintosh sales in the face of a Windows Intel juggernaut? It's the idea. 5,000 songs in the palm of your hand. Who could identify with that, right? It completely obliterated everybody else who was talking about whether or not they could store 250 songs or 500 songs or 750 songs. 5,000 songs in the palm of your hand. Macintosh sales are up. They have a 14% share now instead of 10% share, something like that. Because people are coming in for iPods and for iPhones, and they're leaving with Macintosh computers. Right? So my message is, number one, do fewer things really well. I always had a rule: if I went to trade shows, if I couldn't have the best physical presence of anybody in my sector, I didn't go. There's nothing about technology in that video, right? It has a series of images that are non-technical metaphors, metaphorical marketing, that are highly emotional, to get people to absorb the message and want to know more. The key is to find the emotion and find the simplicity. Get to a very succinct expression of what your core value proposition is. That's the pinnacle of the pyramid that you have to put on your message hierarchy. If that isn't good enough to engage people, no amount of detail that you throw at them is going to get them engaged, right? Companies do not become big, and they don't become market leaders, and they don't become volcanic in their revenue generation by arguing the way to success. 90% of tech is about people think they're going to argue the way to success. They're going to come in, have a meeting, and they're going to throw more and more data. Okay, oh, you don't believe that? Here, let me see. I've got something else. Well, I've got another analyst. Let me give you some more specs. Those are not the companies that are winning. Write your story down first, right? Before you get into all the multimedia types, write it down.